This is my second coffee of the day, and it's like almost 1 p.m. Normally I would switch to decaf now, but I know that we're going to be up later tonight, so that's not happening. My boyfriend and I are going to see the recording of Trixie and Katya's podcast in Montreal as part of the Just for Laughs Festival, which I'm super, super excited for because like I wasn't gonna go, I don't know, like I've never seen them in person, but I watched literally all of their stuff and listened to their podcast and everything all the time, multiple times. It's kind of like my comfort thing. So I was like, I feel like it wouldn't make sense not to go. So I'm really excited. It should be a lot of fun. But the day so far has definitely been interesting. Work is just so stressful right now, and like I'm trying to fit everything in and it's just not happening. It's just all a lot. So yeah, we're having a day, but we're getting through it. I was about to work through lunch because I just have so many things to do, but I was like, no, I need a break. This is probably the hardest thing for me to learn, is that like it is not only okay but necessary to take breaks, and I shouldn't feel guilty about it. I don't know why I have such a hard time with it though, but I really do. Like I don't know, it's wild. I'm so trying to work on it, but it's a hard one. It's quite rainy today and just kind of gloomy, so it's going to be a day spent in the house for the most part. And I was going to try and do some like filming, but then because I had so many other things that I'm needing to do, I don't think I'm going to be able to get to that, which is really frustrating. Another thing that I've been working on is trying to be more adaptable, and I think that's a really hard thing for me too, because I will like plan out everything and I feel like I have a grip on everything. I feel like I have everything under control, but then something happens and like it's totally thrown off and I'm like, crap, like how do I go from here? And right now a big part of it is because next week we're going to be going to visit my sister because she just had a baby, so we're going to meet the baby and everything, but I'm trying to like get everything done for before we are going to be away from home, so it's just really stressful. I'm thinking honestly that what I probably need right now is to do three things. One, I think I need to try and do like a relaxing anti-stress meditation because that has just been helping me out so much. I pretty much just like do meditation whenever I feel any sort of emotion, and it makes me feel really good. Never would have thought it. Like I've said, I'm not very good at meditations. My mind definitely wanders and I have trouble like getting it back, but it is at least something that I'm working on, and it is something that makes me feel good. Two, I'm going to journal. I already did my morning journaling, but I think I need to just kind of like journal, and kind of part of that, I need to figure out a game plan. I think that the best way that I can use today with like all of the obstacles that have kind of come up is figuring out a plan B, and whether that looks like maybe doing a little bit less, like kind of just figuring it out in a way where I'm not going to be stressed out and I am able to actually like enjoy myself tonight and enjoy myself in general. I feel like it's just so easier said than done though to be gentle with yourself and realize that you're not always going to be able to get everything done. And I don't know, adaptability is just something I really, really have a hard time with, but we're gonna figure it out. Like, it's gonna be fine. It's ultimately though, my anxiety just makes me like catastrophize, and I don't think I said that right, but like it's just, I'm like, oh my God, there's so many things and I can't keep track of all of it, and that's just really stressful. But anyways, this morning I did finish a book. So I finished with Before We Were Innocent by Ella Berman. This is not generally the kind of book that I would go for because it's kind of like a mystery thriller sort of thing, but I would say that it's more of like a contemporary mystery because it's focusing more so on like the media and their portrayal of these girls. Essentially, they went to summer in Greece like 10 years ago or something, 3 of them went, 3 best friends, and then only 2 of them ended up coming home. And it's like a true crime sort of thing where everyone is really interested in the case. And then the 2 surviving best friends, they haven't spoken in years, but then they end up coming together again because the one best friend, her fiance has gone missing. So there's a whole lot going on in here. But despite that, I found the story to be kind of boring at times. It was honestly just the intrigue that really kept me going with this one. I don't know, it was an interesting experience, but I'm not like mad that I read it. It was just definitely out of my comfort zone. And I feel like on the other hand, I have read quite a few stories like this before where it's like these kind of manic pixie dream girls go on this vacation, blah, blah, blah. And then like one of them ends up dying. There's all sorts of mystery surrounding it. It's definitely a story that I've read before. I think this take was interesting in a way, but also I just was kind of bored. It was a lot longer than it needed to be. But I am going to take the rest of my lunch, like little lunch break, to just sit here and, I don't know, do something that's not going to like absorb me to the fact where I don't really want to get back to work, but it's also going to relax me. I don't know what that is right now though. Love a good bowl. Like, it's probably my favorite food is any kind of bowl because I don't know, it's just delicious. Like everything in one bowl with like a good sauce. But one of the things that I love the most about bowls is that there's a lot of stuff in it, but that's also like to the detriment of making them because there's always so many ingredients to prepare, like so many things to chop. And even when getting the leftovers together, I feel like it's hard because there's certain things that are supposed to be hot, things that are supposed to be cold. Like, I don't know. It's a double-edged sword. Love me a good bowl, but also the act of preparing them is always very time consuming. So my point with that is that I am taking a little bit of a break to make myself some leftovers. I made some Chipotle chicken bowls. Like they're supposed to be a copycat recipe for actual Chipotle, and we don't have, I think there are some in Canada, maybe in Toronto, but I don't think that there's any in the Montreal area, probably because of the French requirements. But anyways, this was a recipe for like copycat Chipotle chicken that you can pretty much do everything with, and it turned out really good. I had it for dinner yesterday and it was delicious. I just had it over some like lime cilantro rice. Very pleased. To be fair, as far as like bowls go, this was one of the easier ones because you like marinate the chicken and then you barbecue it, or you can like air fry it or whatever. And then most of the rest of the ingredients like don't really need much to happen to them. And it's kind of like a make your own bowl situation. So I put some corn, which I have here, some black beans, which I have here, and then some guacamole, which did not cost extra because I made it at home. Guacamole is expensive though. And then some fresh salsa. I did just spill that absolutely everywhere though, but oh, actually I also put cheese. I'll have to grab the cheese, and then some romaine lettuce. So 10 out of 10 would recommend, honestly, because it was really good and it wasn't all that hard. It's even like making a homemade salad. I love salad, but I hate all the chopping and stuff that comes with it because it's just so time consuming. I don't know, maybe I'm just lazy. Things that require a lot of chopping, honestly, it just like, it feels like I'm getting nowhere because I've already spent so much time with cooking and then I don't even have anything like to show for it, you know? Basically, I mean with things that need like cooking after chopping, and only things where you need to do like a lot of chopping. Does that make sense? I don't know. I feel like I'm just in a very complaining mood right now. I guess the other kind of problem with bowls, if you will, is that they create a lot of dishes and then a lot of like leftovers. Like certain things, I feel like I could have put the corn and the beans together, but I didn't didn't really want to because then you might get like more beans than corn. I don't know. I'm really not making any sense right now, I don't think, but I mean, whatever. The point was, I'm excited to have all the ingredients already prepared for this bowl. I think it's going to be delicious because it was really good yesterday, and I would imagine that it probably tastes the same. And honestly, I'm needing a bit of an energy boost. I was just looking at like my one major task that I have to do today, and I have so much more to do for it than I normally would. So I know I'm going to be sitting at the couch for a while to get that done, but maybe I can kind of make it more fun. It's already almost 2. Oh my God. This day just is not going according to plan. I did do a little meditation and it made me feel better for a little bit. I didn't show you this before I started mixing it, but it did look really good. It's also so full, so I'll probably just kind of like pick at this. But what was I saying? Oh, I did do a little meditation, made me feel better for a tiny bit of time, and then I just kind of started getting back into work and I felt stressed all over again. I didn't take my full lunch break. I ended up only taking like 15 minutes probably. Although I am taking time now to actually make myself lunch because I am hungry. I wasn't hungry earlier. I think after I finish this like big task that I need to do for work, then I'm going to kind of sit down and do some planning, like planning ahead for next week and everything, because maybe that will make me feel a little bit more secure and like I have a handle on things. Hopefully. I don't know. We're just figuring it out, you know? We're figuring it out step by step, day by day. It's fine. 'Tis the season. This is just like a really busy time. People say that publishing is not busy during the summer, but that's not true. At least in like the department that I'm in, that's not true at all. Why is there always so much crap behind me? I mean, I know why. It's because I never have a chance to clean anything up. Whatever. I figured while we were here and my work is over for the day, I definitely didn't get to everything on my to-do list, but it's fine. I'm going to need to get ready too since I'm going out and I just don't feel like it, but we'll see what I end up doing. But I did want to share with you guys the books that I am hoping to read in August. I have been loving doing these vlogs and I've been enjoying also like incorporating the book list that I would normally do into them. So I hope that you like it too, because I think that's just going to be what I am continuing to do. It's made me like post a lot and it's made me really excited about what I'm posting. So I'm just going with the flow. And that is also the theme of this TBR. In all honesty, I have been gravitating toward adult way more than I have YA recently, but that doesn't mean that I'm like done with YA. It's just with YA, I feel like I'm not quite as excited about as many books. And I think a big part of it is that I've been reading like almost only YA for a really large portion of my life. So there are just so many like new and exciting things in the adult age range for me, but I'm definitely not done with YA. Like I have a ton of new YA books that I am really excited about, and there are some on this list, but it definitely is pretty adult heavy, to be honest. That being said though, the first couple of books that I have here, actually the first few, because those are the ones that I grabbed first, are all YA. So we have When We Had Summer by Jennifer Castle. I picked this one up recently and it is about these characters who used to make this summer bucket list. It was like every year they would work toward this ultimate summer bucket list, but then one of them ends up dying, and obviously it's going to be a pretty sad summer story. You can honestly just kind of consider all of the books that I included on my summer TBR as being on this TBR as well, but I'm obviously not going to get to all of them this year, unfortunately, but there's always next summer. Next we have Never Vacation with Your Ex by Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigmund Broca. I have like 3 books on my TBR by this author duo. I have fallen so incredibly behind, but this one is set in Malibu, I believe, and it follows a rising volleyball star, and she like broke up with this guy who is the son of the family that they always go on vacation with every summer, and now she's like helping him get over her, giving him like rules to follow to get over an ex. I don't know, it seems like a very interesting and unique concept. Next is When We Were Them by Laura Taylor Namey. I've had this one for a while now, and it's about like lost friendship, and I always think that that is a topic that should be written about more, especially in the YA age range, since it's something that like everyone goes through. So this is about a character who is like, I don't know, she's presented with her old childhood friends again. It looks like she's going through this box of stuff that like all their memories, and it's kind of revisiting those moments, and she's trying to find a way back to them. We'll see. And finally, I have the Stuff and Nonsense Book Club Book of the Month, which is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I was really excited that the book club ended up picking this book because I've heard nothing but amazing things, honestly. And I read The Do-Over by Lynn Painter in February, and it was cute. So I would love to know what this one is all about. I know that it's like very much inspired by and referencing very popular rom-coms, so it seems like a fun one for summer. Next, we have The First Bright Thing by J.R. Dawson. I believe I included this on my July TBR. I honestly can't remember, but this is a circus book, and I have been dying to pick up a circus book recently. I don't know why lately. It has just been like screaming my name, but I really want to get to it soon. Next is Hello Beautiful by Anne Napolitano. I don't know why I struggled on that one so much, but I've heard some amazing things about this book. Don't really know what it's about. It is a retelling, I believe, or an exquisite homage to Louisa May Alcott's timeless classic, timeless classic Little Woman. So it must be like inspired by that. I don't really know. I'm very intrigued by this, and I know like it seems to me that everyone who has read this one has like loved it. Next is Summer Island by Kristen Hanna. Of course, this is like the perfect summer read, and Kristen Hanna I just absolutely adore, so it seems high time that I read another one of her books, because the 2 that I've read I've been completely blown away by and have fallen in love with. So I think that might be why I'm scared to read more, but I really should, honestly. Like, I'm just scared that I'm gonna be let down and it's gonna ruin the vibe we have going. Next is Where We End and Begin by Jane Iharo. This is the last book that I have by this author. I hope that she's coming out with more, but I have quite enjoyed all of the books that I have read by her so far, and I felt like it was time for another one. So this is about a character who goes back to Nigeria for a wedding, and she's having to confront a lot of things that she hasn't had to in a very long time. Next is another YA actually, and that is As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow by Zulfa Kato. This is a historical fiction, and it is set in Syria, and I just love historical fictions, and I'm always happy to have more that aren't westernized on my TBR, and I have once again heard nothing but amazing things about this one. Next is The Only Game in Town by Lacey Walden. I have read 2 Lacey Walden books so far. I just finished with From the Jump recently, and I loved From the Jump. Like, I really enjoyed The Layover, but From the Jump totally loved. So this is the latest by this author, so I feel like I need to read it. I don't even know what it's about. One small town, one big prize, one handsome stranger. We'll see. All of her books so far have been kind of set on vacation, at least partially, so I don't know if this one is, but either way, honestly, I'm gonna read it. Next is The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren. This is the latest by this author duo, and I believe it's about like a romance writer who teams up with a documentary filmmaker, and they team up, and it's like a whole romance story between the 2 of them. I have had mixed feelings on the Christina Lauren recent releases. Last year's book that they came out with, I did not like, and the year before, The Soulmate Equation, I did like. So it kind of seems to always flip-flop. Like, they've written some of my favorite romances, but then there's others that I'm not the hugest fan of. So I'm obviously hoping that I will like this one. Then we have Jana Goes Wild by Farah Heron. I think that this one, I don't really know where it's set. It's kind of like about a character who is going out of their comfort zone, and yeah, she's a bridesmaid for a destination wedding in Serengeti National Park. So that seems intriguing. I love this cover. I love the animals all over it. Makes me really happy. Seems like a good time. Then we have The Celebrants by Stephen Rawley. This is the author of The Guncle. I fell in love with The Guncle, and the concept for this one sounds really cool. It's like these characters who were friends when they were in college, and every year they meet up to throw each other these living funerals. So I don't know what to make of that. Like, it definitely has me very intrigued. And then The Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I have heard, obviously, like, everything about this book, but I don't really know what it's about. I know it has to do with dragons, but that's really it. But there has been so much hype surrounding it, so I really want to know. Like, I really want to read this one soon, and I think I'm probably going to do a reading vlog specifically for this one soon, so stay tuned for that. And finally, The Atlas Paradox by Olivia Blake. I just read The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake, which is the first book in this, I'm assuming, duology, but I read it for the July Queen of Hearts book club book of the month, and we actually have the discussion coming up, like when I'm filming this. By the time this is up, it will have already happened, but I'm so excited to discuss this book with like everyone on Patreon because I have so many thoughts and I don't really know like what to make of any of it. But I know that the way it ended, I do want to read the sequel, which is rare for me. I am not a big sequel person. I am not a big series person, but this one, like, I want to know what's going to happen and all of that. I have a lot of questions that need answers, so I feel like I need to read this one soon so then it is fresh in my brain. So those are all the books that I want to read in August. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. I think I kind of want to take a little bit of a breather, honestly, because I have been non-stop for the past few hours. I have not taken breaks, even though I told myself that I should, so I have not been listening to myself. And then I'll probably get ready for the show a little bit later. I'm not gonna do anything like intense. I'll probably just throw on like light makeup because I'm not really feeling like wearing a ton, but I am going to fix up my book stacks here because I keep talking about these book hauls that I need to film, right? I still haven't filmed them, so most of the books that you just saw are coming from these stacks and they were like on the bottom, so they're all over the place. I was supposed to film those videos today, but that's not happening, so I'm going to try tomorrow because I think I should be able to. That's another thing that I need to do actually, is figure out my revised schedule. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out. Oh my god. Can you see the floor? No, but you can see my desk and that's also bad. Just don't look at it, okay? I just realized I'm also in between like all of the books that I was reading because I finished that one this morning, and then it hasn't been the nicest outside, so I haven't been in the pool, although finally it has cleared up, so I could like kind of do a quick dip in the pool. I don't really know. Probably not because I don't really have time, but I kind of want to, but I probably won't. But the point is, I'm between like all of my reads. I'm not currently reading a self-help book. I finished my audiobook and then I don't have a physical read. So I need to pick what I'm gonna read too. But what? I was actually technically reading a self-help book. So I was reading The Power of Now, but I wasn't really liking it. I wasn't vibing with this one. I was listening to the audiobook and it was just, it's not for me. I can understand how this would be for some people, but I think it's too higher power for me and I just can't really connect with it. And the audiobook had this really annoying like ding sound every now and again and it was just annoying me. But then I also don't want to physically read it. Like I wasn't really connecting with it. There were some things that I was like, yes, but I don't know. It just felt like kind of too preachy for my liking. That's just my personal opinion. If you like it and it helps you, that's awesome. But for me, meh. I don't think I'm going to pick a new self-help book right now. I think I will kind of save that for tomorrow. But I would like to pick a new audiobook to listen to because I'm going to just kind of sit there and chill. And I like listening to an audiobook when I do that. And it would also be solid to like pick a physical read. But I have no clue what I'm in the mood for. I don't know, I need to think on this more. I think that this is going to be my audiobook. I don't know why, it's kind of sticking out to me right now. And then physically, I believe I'm going to read The Roughest Draft, also by Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigmund Broca. This is not the one I just included on my TBR, but it's like a second chance romance, enemies to lovers sort of vibe with like a couple that used to write together and then they don't, and now they are like vacationing in Florida to try and write a last book together because they're on contract. So that seems like a vibe. So those are going to be the two books that I am now starting, but I realized I kind of need to pick an outfit for tonight. Like I really don't know what I'm gonna wear, and it's not that I'm gonna be like fancy, but I am going out, so I should put on like nicer clothes than literally what I'm wearing right now. I don't know what to wear though. Like I have a closet full of clothes, but I don't know. I'm thinking these pants, they're like flare and they have a seam down the middle. Are they too fancy though? I don't know. Or actually, maybe I'll wear jeans and then this little like silky sort of top. I don't know. I'm absolutely dying at the fact that I said I was going to do light makeup. This is what always happens. I don't know why I was feeling the vibe of just like a one color green eyeshadow look, but whatever. And I was going to straighten my hair. I actually started doing it, but then I was like, no, I'm just not feeling it. So slicked back bun it is. That's literally all that I've been doing. I've never worn a top like this, and I feel like it kind of looks like I'm going clubbing. I don't know if it looks good, but I think this is what I'm going with because I have kind of committed to the black given the green eyeshadow, and then I also have clips in my hair, so I don't know. But I'm thinking of just wearing, I'm not putting them on yet because the show literally isn't until 9:30, which is wild to me because I literally have been in bed and like sleeping by 9:30 the past couple of days, but whatever. But I'm thinking that I'm just going to wear these jeans because they kind of dress it down, and then just this black belt here with the gold. I think that's going to be the vibe. Okay, so it's lunch break the next day, but I wanted to close out this video for you guys. So we went to the show last night and it was a lot of fun. I didn't film anything during it because you're not supposed to, but it was so great. Like, they are my favorite. I listen and watch everything that they do. It's like my comfort thing. So I watch it like on repeat all the time. So it was really nice to like actually see them in person. And yeah, it was just so much fun. So had a really good night and ended up having a good day yesterday. We didn't get back until like 1 in the morning. So I got a late start today, but you know, it's fine. Now I'm going to work from the pool for the next little bit. So I really can't complain. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in another one very soon. Bye.